little while back, in addition to getting jump cancel tilts back, which for those that played Rivals 1 is a bit more familiar for them. But it's not as busted as it was in Rivals 1 at least, and these two, they're just gonna jump right into Julesville for game number 1.
Hey, I like the stage pick, a little bit of variation inside of those platforms, but it's going to help both of them recover. More importantly, Forsburn recover from time to time to just mix it up and make the question of where am I teleporting to. Now at this point, some good pressure thus far, keeping that slipstream up and steady. I love the new changes to it. You know, it really puts a bigger effort onto the Wrastor players to maintain some aggression here and punish them when they go ahead and take that hit. At this point, we're struggling here. Clover keeping the pressure, gets that down throw, and now a little bit of cheekiness with that clone.
Indeed, and now Env3lop, almost stealing that away from Clover despite the strong start that Clover had. Strong not gonna kill just quite yet for him. But you know, as you were saying, with Forsburn, you gotta make sure you mix things up a bit.
Gotta make him punch.
This Wrastor, you don't want Wrastor to be on top of you. You don't want him to know your location at all times. You gotta be tricky with him. And you know, that's the whole character. Clover doing a good job of that so far. Strong gonna go ahead and kill.
Look, Forsburn has always been about that deceit, and we are seeing it. Clones back and forth, make him question. Got the super clone out. Which one is the real? Oh, well, that one is not. That one's the fake. Clouds activated, and now got some clouds on the side of both sides to go ahead and recover into. That's the beauty of having the clouds, is if you teleport into it, you don't go into free fall, you get another action here. And that's the reason why you see Env3lop snuffing them out, making sure that, hey, you don't get the option to go ahead and get that free recovery. Now, 167 is a great point to be living. Wrastor having a little bit of that arthritis.
Yeah, and then stock finally off of this hyena for Env3lop, and now Env3lop kind of stuck in the corner here. Never mind, forget anything I said, but it's just going back and forth so quickly. Alright. Empowered smoke or combust online, never mind, combust gone for Clover.
That pressure right there, I love the special get up. Now at this point, you're going to see Clover dropping this stock here, no questions asked. Env3lop feels very comfortable with that. I'm sure you were mad down, and then all of a sudden you get the kill at 53. This is looking a lot better. Clover, though, getting that back air saying, hey, I'm not quite done yet. Love that for Clover.
Indeed, and now Super Clone, not going to get too much off of Super Clone once again. And you know, when you get Super Clone in this game, it's actually a tad bit more threatening than it was in 1. It's a matter of, hey, I gotta make sure I keep this thing alive as long as possible. So unfortunately, not going to be able to see that again. But fortunately enough, Clone is still coming in clutch here for Clover in certain situations. Not right now though, because Env3lop able to just get rid of the clone and tackle the real Forsburn.
Alrighty, love that slipstream. Not only putting a little bit of pressure on there, forcing Clover to play a little bit patient, but also wiping out the clouds. That being said, Clover on top of it. Can we go ahead and get the kill on Env3lop? No, Env3lop sneaking through, but look at that. That F smash, or the F strong 1, forget that, is about the back air. Strong hit a back air, kills you. Weak hit a back air, sets you up for the kill. It doesn't matter which one they get, it is going to take the stock. But one of the things that we saw not get played around as well as should have been by Env3lop is those F Strongs part 1, right? It's that cape that pulls you in for the next hit, whether it's the grab, whether it's the jab, or the down tilt. At that point, once you get pulled in, you know you're going to be taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's on Env3lop to, you know, brace themselves for those cape hits, because once the fours kind of either pulls you in with it, you can try you can have a little bit of time to dodge whatever hit is coming, get a shield in between, and then be able to grab it. But we're not seeing that right now from Env3lop. This Clover is just all on top of this bird.
Yeah, and plenty more space to go ahead and play around with. I love that pick, and that's why you're seeing Env3lop taking a lot more caution when they're playing around Clover, right? Sometimes you think of sorties as they don't want their opponent to get in, but at the same time, more space allows these more rushdown characters like Wrastor to play around that sword more patiently and cautiously, and that's how we got where we are at in this moment, where Env3lop putting on map pressure, got you off stage, gonna get that forward air, that might be able to do it, gets rid of the clouds. Can we go ahead and sneak back in? Yep, that clone's still available, and that has allowed Clover to get back onto the stage for the moment.
Yeah, for the moment, but Clover sent up high. Env3lop guessing wrong, gets the wrong Forsburn, and now Clover trying to take advantage of that as much as he can. Not going to be able to find too much, and back to neutral we go.
Dude, we are covered in smog, all right? This is that old style LA, baby. For doing the work that needs to be done out here. Keep the clouds at ready, but now we're taking a stock, all right? Kills are at the ready here. Clover doing a good job to go ahead and bring it in what was a very close for that first stock, but now, you know, Clover dropping that stock here. Env3lop, very happy about it, I'm sure, but the way this game has been going, it is nail biter down to the wire.
And now I want to say a little bit something about this counter pick. I guess I can kind of see the vision for Env3lop going here if you were trying to plat camp as Wrastor, but you gotta be able to make sure you're able to clear force smoke, because once force smoke is all over the stage, it's gonna be a pain to clear, and we saw that already. So Env3lop has to keep that in mind a little bit more, making sure that, hey, I gotta pinpoint this hyena down ASAP before even more smoke gets set up again and again and again, and I'm gonna struggle to clear it, because Wrastor doesn't have too much to really clear smoke. Slipstream can only do so much, but you actually have to, Bird actually has to kind of approach fours to clear it, and that's exactly what Clover wants.
Yeah, I love the fact that you bring that up. Something else that needs to be said is that parry game coming from Clover wasn't able to get the follow-up, but the first part of it is just knowing where your opponent is going to strike. That way you can go ahead and shut them down. Now at this point, locked him at ledge, and that means right there, as you said, that ledge trump into, or the ledge trump back air, every time gonna be able to seal out that stock. Love that. Alrighty. Now at this point, we are racking up damage here. Env3lop really trying to go ahead and snuff out Clover's stock. Got him off stage, the nairs, but you know what that...
No! You hate to see it. And I get what Env3lop was trying to do, trying to cover whatever possible options that Clover might have gone for, but not really finding Clover where he wanted Clover to be, and we're just running it back to Fire Capital. I disagree with this, because again, Wrastor has to throw himself at Forsburn for the most part to clear this smoke, and it's on Env3lop to make sure that he's on top of Clover at all times, so that way he cannot set up, and Clover is not giving Env3lop that at all.
Yeah, I 100% see where you're coming from. I think the idea is, hey, they aren't going to be able to edge guard me the way I can edge guard them, so let me get those wider blasts on, you know, a little bit of that Jigglypuff on Dreamland idea, right? But unfortunately, the edge guards weren't weren't coming through, and so that becomes a problem in the long term. Now, that being said, we got a 71-55. We are playing at that center stage. We are seeing some mad aggression here from Clover as he goes ahead, tries to take out this stock.
Yeah, alright, Empowered Smoke online again. Which option is Clover gonna go for? Likely Combust to kill this bird quickly, unless Env3lop almost kills Clover first. Forces the Empowered Smoke out of him, but luckily for Clover does get the double jump back out of using Empowered Smoke. Not gonna matter too much. Env3lop taking that first stock.
You know, really, really nice pick up there. Of course, that down tilt, an absolute god tier move to go ahead and kill. Now at this point, we're getting the grabs with that forward air. Rapid fire from the Forsburn. I love it. Just, you know, say a little, get off me a little bit, all right? I want some air to second. I know, a little ironic considering I am smogging up the whole place, but hey, we got the clone out here, put a little bit of pressure, try to get that kill here. The down tilt wasn't able to lead to anything, and Env3lop really trying to find a way to get some extra credit, but it's just not coming through thus far.
Yeah, Clover's just doing a good job, just poking, Envelop, and finally able to find that kill. And that's exactly what you want to do against Wrastor. You want to keep him out with your disjoint. Make sure he doesn't get in with, well, maybe not his disjoint, but you get the idea. And so far, Clover just forcing Envelop into this corner, not be able to find too much on the northern edge guard at all, but it doesn't matter. Envelop thrown back off for a brief second, but again, still doesn't matter once more.
Trying to get aggressive with that fair, but it kind of backfired there. Just overextended a little bit too much. And now at this point, that allowed for Clover to get some extra damage, but even then, neither one of them are getting like huge combos and advantage states compared to what you might expect from these characters. Well, at least Wrastor. Forsburn a little bit more dependent. But at this point, this is looking fairly good for Clover. Gets the grab. This could be that chance that you want. But instead, you know what? Envelope sneaking right on through.
Alright, and yeah, I'm just gonna RAR Bear to take it. Last chance for Envelop to get something started and get on the board. Super Clone comes out, has the right Forsburn, and good job. Manages to get the right Forsburn, stay on top of him, and even the stocks back out one apiece.
Yeah, they might be identical, but they definitely don't act identical, alright? It's very hard for a player to disguise themselves as the clone. Really only Pegasus has been able to do it. That being said, you don't need to disguise yourself as the clone when you got so much pressure coming through, able to get the stock off of the edge guard too. All coming off of that clone spike or that clone explosion to go ahead and scare him away from the ledge and allow for that back air.